Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil and it's time for another episode of Would I Lie to You? Alright guys, it's time. I've been not putting off this episode, but I haven't gotten around to it for a while. I know I reacted to all the Bob Mortimer episodes, but what that meant is there were a few Bob Mortimer stories that I missed out on because they ended up getting put into the Unseen Bits episode at the end of a series. And one story in particular, I've received multiple comments on that I have to see it. I wanted to explore the rest of the WILTY universe for a little bit, folks, but it's time for me to get back to it. This is the Unseen Bits from Series 9 featuring Bob Mortimer and I'm sure plenty of other comedians. Let's see what this one's all about. It's certainly been built up enough by you, the viewers, the commenters. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this one's all about. You may notice I am not in my home studio. I am up at the family cabin for a little bit, but the work doesn't stop. I'm going to continue to react here while I'm here. So I apologize for the backlighting. Hopefully it's not too distracting, and just enjoy the scenery for a change, guys, until we go back into my my windowless studio. So let's get into it. This is episode 10 from Series 9. It's the Unseen Bits featuring Bob Mortimer.
Joining Lee Mack tonight, Bob Mortimer, Richard Osman, Germaine Greer, Moira Stewart, Alex Jones, John Cooper Clarke, Claire Balding and Joe Lycett, Danny Dyer, Gabby Logan, Steve Backshaw, Alan Davis, Germaine Greer, Greg Davis, Rod Gilbert and Nick Grimshaw.
I actually know a number of these people for a change.
I've buried £1,000 in cash in a secret location in case I ever have to go on the run.
I don't know this guy, though.
Are you willing to say on national television exactly where it is?
No. I think I'll keep it double low, to be honest with you. You know, because if I'm on the run, it's going to be on top for me, and it'll be the first place they look, won't it? If I'm sniffing it. I've buried a bag of sand, which is £1,000, right?
Right.
Somewhere, in case it comes on top.
What does that mean?
Somewhere?
No, on top.
Illegal.
Oh, I thought you meant in case the money, you haven't buried it deep enough and it will end up on top.
It's double low, you muppet, he said that.
I don't know what low means in his thing. I don't know what double low is.
Well, you know it's twice as much.
How much is low?
Well, low, you know, I mean, double low's proper on top. Right.
We do have subtitles, use that red button.
Is this for crimes that... not crimes.
I'm not talking about crimes.
I didn't say crimes. I didn't say crimes. Is this for murders that have taken place previously or things that might happen in the future?
Are you asking Danny to confess to crime?
All right.
And how did you bury it? Was it under cover of darkness?
No, it was in broad daylight. I wouldn't go at night, you know what I mean?
Why did you do it in daylight?
Well, I'm giving it away now.
Daylight. I think I know where it is.
Presumably now you possess a treasure map.
No.
Well, how are you going to remember where it is?
It's about where I whacked my motor.
Yeah, but you drove your car away, though, didn't you, afterwards, so it's not still there.
I parked my car next to something that I will remember.
Ah.
Next to a sort of Norman Wisdom statue, you know, and there's only It's not...
Can't expect Danny to give away the location on television of where his bag of sand is.
Absolutely not.
Really?
I believe it.
I say it's a lie.
I don't know who this guy is. I don't know what his background is, but I kind of believe it.
It's a lie, innit? Come on.
The first time I went to Germany, I knew only one German phrase. And bizarrely, an accident occurred which required me to use it.
What was the phrase?
Entschuldigen Sie bitte. Mein Vater ist in den Fluss gefallen. Excuse me, please. My father has fallen in the river.
Was he like a serial...
River follower.
No.
But why would you learn that phrase unless he had a habit of falling into rivers? I've decided, I don't know I'm going early on this one.
We were skiing and he skied into a little river by mistake.
Who did you end up saying this phrase to?
To a passerby.
A skier?
Yes.
Right.
No, tennis player, Rob.
I find it hard to think ill of Claire Balding. I think she's telling the truth.
Oh. I'm with Rod.
It wouldn't reflect badly on her character if she was lying.
It would. Even within the parameters of this game, I still don't think she would.
Would I? It's true.
See it? Rod knows.
I find it incredibly irritating when other people fiddle with my jigsaws.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
What was the last jigsaw you did?
It was a picture of the city centre in Oxford.
How many pieces was it?
1,000.
If you're doing a big jigsaw, you have to do it on something.
My grandfather's coffin. On a card table.
That's nearly right.
That's nearly right.
Yeah.
A person can go anywhere in the jigsaw.
No, they can't. They can only go where they go.
When you do a jigsaw, Lee...
Yeah. I don't, David, because I've got a life, but carry on.
Yeah.
Lee may never have done a jigsaw.
Do you use scissors?
You know I'm not
That's
allowed.
Rookie.
It's one of his trigger words.
How long does it take?
Let's say 3 months.
OK, so he's doing about 15 pieces a day, right? You need help.
I don't need help, and I don't like it when people help.
I totally believe it.
If he was into jigsaws properly and you didn't want a fiddler, you put cling film on it.
What?
Whoa.
Weirder than me.
You do it on the tray. Not only can you carry it around if you need to dust, but also the cling film wraps underneath.
This week we're talking about tricks for jigsaws. You probably think it's just the four corners you have to know, but no, get your cling film ready, we'll tell you after.
I don't think he's a jigsaw.
Puzzles kind of allow you that loose space to takes you to a room in a place that you wouldn't otherwise enter in the normal run of it.
What is going
Just
on?
to clarify, is it true or false?
It is true.
It's Bob.
This is the cushion that I used to carry my pet owl around on. I would have brought the owl, but he escaped last week.
What kind of an owl was it?
Oh, yeah.
Tawny.
Tawny's perch on branches.
Yeah.
So how did you get it to perch on a big, flat, soft cushion?
Oh, Steve, it's so good to have you here.
How did I?
Is this Steve Irwin, basically? The British Steve Irwin?
Here are the tallow marks. I have a rare breeds farm near me, and they had to get rid of a tawny owl that was injured. I shouldn't use the words, we couldn't use its bottom. For poo-pooing.
What did it use?
As a trustee of the organisation, because it's just down the road from me, in Warehorn, I agreed to...
Why is that funny? Why is Warehorn funny? But I love when Bob laughs in his own stories.
It actually had what you would call a colostomy bag.
Colostomy, right?
We call it a colostomy bag.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we wouldn't have picked it up, but you did specifically say that's what we would have called it.
Steve, is an owl's colostomy bag called a colostomy bag?
You wouldn't really need it because the majority of kind of solid faecal matter with an owl comes out of its mouth.
Yeah. No, we're dealing with a very sick owl. I'm sorry, I sound aggressive there. He's escaped now, and I can see his little face. We were given a pipette with what was owl nourishment.
So you had to feed it, and how did it stand on the cushion if, as Steve says, it needs a perch?
I've clearly not made it clear. This is an incredibly sick bird. You can't judge it by the normal tone. This is just a lump of meat and feathers. There's just hanging on in there.
But the thing still escapes.
Yes, I suspect it was killed by my cats.
This owl sanctuary, why didn't it look after the owl itself rather than give it to a local celebrity?
Sorry, my client would like a minute.
And you were going to nurse it back to health?
No, that was never going to happen.
It's palliative care.
And we had some decent times.
Did he have a name, this owl?
We called it...
Make something up, Bob.
You called it... So you're upset, Bob, I can tell. But what did you call it?
Sorry?
What did you call it?
Sorry.
What did we call the owl?
Yeah.
Well, we called him Mavis.
What did you feed it with the pipette?
It was described to me as owl... as owl nourishment. Steve, I still know I can't impress on you. The most you got out of it...
It wasn't perched then, it was reclined on the cushion. That was its deathbed.
Yeah. We'd have like a broomstick or something and just hold it and throw it.
The owl sanctuary, what have you told them? Because they must have been upset.
No, I've told them he's passed away, yeah.
They said, well, that's fine, we knew Mavis was going to die soon. That's why we gave him or her to you, a comedian who lives locally, to keep on a cushion in the same room as some cats.
My client would like to change his name.
If this ends up being true somehow, it'll be insane.
Is this true?
No, this isn't true. The Rare Breed Centre probably needs to look at its working practices if it happens to be true.
I was telling a lie.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, it's a funny Bob story, but it's not as insane as some of his others. He tried hard to sell it, but you could tell he knew he was outmatched pretty much from the beginning.
This is the bag I wear on my head to carry my shopping home.
So you wear it on your head?
Yeah, we need to see this.
You do like this. It's a tump line.
Tump line? It's a tump line.
People all over the world carry things like this, especially if they haven't got beasts of burden.
Sorry, have I just turned over?
Oh.
Where do you shop? Tibet?
I shop in Essex.
Beep. There you go, love.
You sit down for each one, do you, Rob?
Lovely. How much bread?
Can I just ask a question? At this point, are there people in the queue looking at you face on?
Trolley. Then you get to the checkout.
That's going to be too heavy, isn't it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
If I kill you on the television, how far would you walk with those, Germaine?
I can walk any amount of distance.
I believe her.
She don't strike me as a person that's going to be too fussed about what people think. It kind of suited her.
True.
Greg, your turn.
Oh, we get a Greg Davies, awesome.
When I was a teenager, I used to have to butter my legs in order to squeeze into tight leather trousers.
What age are we talking?
I was 17, and it was when I was experimenting with being a goth, actually.
You don't look like a good goth to me, because you're too close to the sun.
I wasn't.
Isn't there an issue of rancidity? When the temperature of a room changes, it's a very volatile substance. It moves from a solid to a liquid in the blink of an eye.
I wish you'd have been my science teacher.
You're forgetting that I was a teenager when I was doing this, and I generally stank. I mean, it wasn't butter, actually. It was a margarine spread of sorts. It wasn't worse, it worked. I'm ludicrously tall, and the only tight trousers around stopped half a foot below my knee, so it would look like I was wearing some sort of perverse lederhosen. So the only tight trousers that would fit me were sort of women's lycra leggings.
How did you manage to hold the trousers to pull them up, now that your hands were very slippy with the marge?
Interesting thing, in Shropshire, running water, I would wash my hands. My sister was the only person who knew, and that's because she walked into my bedroom when I was applying the marge.
Did she speak in Couchon to you at the time?
I was very keen to
That
explain.
must have been one of the worst moments of her young life.
Not playing out very well in the playground of my imagination.
I'm not sure you need margarine to get lycra on.
I really want it to be true.
It is true.
Because to see you in a woman's legging would be magical.
Well, you just call me.
We've gone from leather to lycra.
No, they were leather effect. You didn't ask me. They were a sort of leather effect trouser.
I can't believe it's not leather.
Yeah.
Oh, Lee is on it sometimes. Love it.
Sorry, John, I'd love to agree, but I think he's a bit weird. I mean, yeah, people do alternative things with groceries at that age, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, not that sort of thing.
True. I'm probably wrong, but true.
That's a lie.
If ever I took a penalty, I would choose to place the ball to the left or right, depending on which of my socks was the muddiest.
Oh.
Right. Alan, what's...
David knows nothing of sport.
Footballers can be quite superstitious.
It started when I was a kid. Every time I did it, I scored, so...
And what's the average... how many penalties? What's the percentage of penalties that go in?
Alan, you take the questions, mate. Come on.
When your socks are very, very muddy, one foot is heavier than the other.
Is that something you're just interested to know?
It would be nice to find a sensible reason for scoring with either foot.
It's not the foot.
No, let's be clear about
this.
this.
It's always the
Germaine.
same foot.
It's all right, David, I've got it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not different.
Suddenly David's become Alan Hansen.
I found something I knew. I understood.
I didn't listen properly. I beg
No,
your
and that's
pardon.
your problem. You don't listen.
But I was usually sort of put vaguely in defence. So that I'd be sort of standing there coldly. Charge past me, in the goal, then it goes back to the middle and you get a bit of respite.
And what time was chess club due to start?
And yet I wasn't very good at chess. A pathetic physical specimen and intellectually not that creative either. But thanks to the way the media selects people for prominence, here I am!
OK. So what are you going to say?
Yeah, let's say true.
I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie.
It's a lie.
I feel like everything's routine. You go to the exact same spot every time.
Thanks very much for watching. Good night.
There we go, guys. We got the owl story done. I know I found one other Bob Mortimer story in another episode of Unseen Bits. Are there any other episodes of Unseen Bits that I have to see to clean up the entire Bob Mortimer catalog? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I mean, I'm thrilled. We got another Greg Davies story. We got to see Alan Davies. I haven't seen him on this show yet. I think this is the only episode that he did. I don't think he's become a regular guest appearance. So is it worth checking out the Alan Davies episode? I know he's going to be on Taskmaster in Series 12. I'm looking forward to that. I have seen him on a bunch of QI, obviously, so I feel like I know Alan well enough to know that I'm probably going to be cheering for him on Taskmaster. But do I need to check out the Alan Davies episode of Would I Lie to You? Let me know. And again, let me know if there are any more Bob segments that I have to get done. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for joining me. As always, I appreciate your comments. If you haven't yet already, please consider leaving a thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button, hit that bell so that you don't miss any of my future reactions. And until next time, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.